So now if you're feeling good about being able to get your fingers to cover each hole completely, it doesn't have to be, perfect yet, but basically if you can work your way down from the top, even if it takes a long time, if you can get to where you're covering all those holes, so you're getting a nice low sound right here, and then you're able to drop your pinky, then you're ready for this lesson. So we're going to be looking at what's labeled exercise 2.1. It should be about page 3 in your book or in your PDF, whether you're looking at that digitally or printed out. And what we're looking at here is a scale that runs from G up to D. Underneath each note, you've got a diagram that shows where your fingers go. The black holes mean that hole is covered, and the white holes mean that hole is uncovered. Okay? So we're just going to look at the first 2 notes. Now, I always get a lot of comments in the videos that I've done in the past. So before that starts happening, just to give everybody a heads up, bagpipes traditionally tune to concert 480, which is weird because concert pitch is 440. That's for an A. Or if you're talking fixed solfege, that's a law. Or if you're not talking fixed solfege, then in this case, because the bagpipes are at least ostensibly in the key of A, that's our do. And that is played with your pinky up. That's this note right here. Now, to say nothing of your practice chanter, because your practice chanter's tuning could be anywhere. Some weird things about bagpipe notation, if this matters to you, just briefly. Even though it's in the key of A, bagpipes aren't tuned to modern pitch A. It's an old world tuning, and the popularity of what pitch you tune to changes over the decades, and from band to band and day to day, you're going to have some variation. You might be tuning it, A would be 478 one day, and then 484 another day. Or if you're playing with other instruments, you might get a special chanter and reed so you can tune down to 460 or 466. I forget where exactly B is supposed to sit. So then your A becomes a B. There are all kinds of confusing things about that. So for the sake of simplicity, in the bagpiping world, we talk about things as if it's in the key of A, even though it's not the true pitch A in most cases. Also, if you're like, oh, key of A, C sharp, F sharp, right? You'll almost never see the key markings of like the sharps and flats you'd expect to in bagpipe notation. It's as if it were in the key of C, because there are no sharps or flats in the key indicator at the beginning of a staff. So it's basically everything that you don't need is removed. Just imagine that you exist in a world in which this is the only instrument that exists, and that's what makes this notation easier. So that out of the way, we're going to talk about this in bagpipe terms. So in bagpipe terms, all your fingers on the chanter, every single hole covered, that's a G. All fingers are down. G. That's a G, okay? So most of our bagpiping tunes, though, are going to be based around A. So that G is mostly there for embellishments and for, the odd note here and there. But basically, we have a scale that runs from A down low up to A up high. And then we have a +1 down here with G. So G's easy. All holes are covered. A is pretty easy. You just lift your pinky, and you've already been working on that. So if you're looking at the book there, the first 2 notes, G to A, pretty simple stuff. You just lift that pinky. Here I want to remind you, keep your fingers relatively straight. Rest your chanter on a desk or a knee if you can, and don't squeeze your chanter, okay? So from A to B, again, is pretty simple. All you do is lift the next finger. So your ring finger comes up. So this is A, and this is B. So we're not going to go on for just a sec. We're now just going to practice going G, A, B. Okay? And this is where, if you are helping a small child to learn, you might consider putting tape over the other notes. Because, at least in my experience, especially with kids younger than, say, 8 or 9 years old, there's a lot of fidgeting that happens all the time, constantly. And so with an adult, you can say, all right, get your fingers all set, and now keep all 7 or 8 of these other fingers in place while we work on these lower notes. For kids, they're moving out of their chairs, they're putting their chanter down, they're scratching their faces. So getting set, you could spend a half-hour lesson just getting set over and over and over and over again, and you hardly get to work on anything, and that's frustrating for the kid and the instructor. So you might consider just taping all the holes down except for like these bottom 3 holes, and that's what we're working on right now. So we're just going to go G, A, B. Take a breath. G, A, B. And we'll do that, let's do it 5 times. Here we go. Nice and slow, just do it right along with me. Take a breath. Take a breath. Two more times. Last time. Okay, so now we're going to try doing the same thing, but in reverse. And it's always harder to go down than to go up. So give yourself a little grace, take a little time here. We're going to start from B, right? So our pinky and our ring finger are up. Then we're going to put the ring finger down for A. Then we'll put the pinky down for G. Okay? Putting that pinky down, I don't know, that pinky, maybe because it's shorter, it's always the hard one. So don't feel bad if that's tricky. That's why we hopefully have been practicing that already. So we kind of are prepared for it. So here we go from B, and we're going to go really slow here. We'll do this 3 times together. Again. One more. Okay, so now practice that. Go from G to A to B, and then do it backward from B to A to G. And if you want to do yourself some real favors, do it while you're looking at the staff music in the book, so that you're seeing the note on the scale as your fingers do the work to play that note. And we're going to start building this, is it hand-eye coordination? It's more like a mind-finger connection, so that when you see that note on the scale, your fingers snap to that note. They know exactly what that means. You want to have a real fluid way of reading music, so that you can look at music, you see an A, and your fingers do this automatically. Whether you're holding a chanter or not, you'll see an A as you're walking down the street. There will be a piece of music pasted to a window or something. This is a ridiculous situation, isn't it? but you'd see an A, and your fingers in your pockets would just do this. You just feel them tense up. So that's what we're working for. So look at those notes and practice G, A, B, B, A, G. Do that about 1,000,000 times, and when you're so sick of it, we'll keep working on the rest.